excited to be able to introduce Björn Berg. Björn is a farrier at, please say the name of your hospital.
Oh, there.
Yes, that's where he works. And Björn and I met 2 years ago at this conference. I presented on the crena, and there was great interest in the crena by many people, mostly farriers, because we're interested in the crena farriers. And I had some farrier come up to me and say, "I'm so glad you presented on the crena. It's like the crena is out of the closet." Who said that to me? Are you here today? Okay, I can't remember who it was. So Björn was interested in working with me and getting some of the data that I mentioned we don't have. We know so little about the crena. And here he is today, 2 years later, having done his own study at his hospital, and which is in Sweden. Yes, that I couldn't pronounce the name of. And Björn and I just doing this together is an example of what we're trying to promote here, is collaboration. So thanks, Patrick, for letting me introduce him. Björn?
Okay, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this presentation about radiographic findings regarding toe crena. My name is Björn Berg. I know that's hard to pronounce. No, you can do anything wrong. I'm from Sweden, a country in Northern Europe. You know, where the polar bears and blonde girls walk the streets. Since I'm not world famous, I'm asked from Frank to make a short presentation on myself. So I'll do that. I'm a farrier, I'm not a computer geek. I've been a farrier for almost 3 decades. The last 14 years I've been at Animalhospital, working as a specialist farrier there. There are some of my co-workers, veterinarians and other farriers. Since I strongly believe in continuing education, I've been to Denmark, Norway, Finland, Germany, Switzerland, England, and of course the US to learn more. I specialize in biomechanics, hoof capsule trauma, fold correction, and of course Laminitis. Shoot police sources on my home city. I'm a farrier at World Cup competitions in Gothenburg Horse Show since 2002. During a 10-year period, I competed in draft horse team shoeing, 4 times national champion, 4 times runner-up. I do research in cooperation with Chalmers University of Technology. This is my daughter's pony. You find a poster of it outside, future or future forward poster session. I'm also a volunteer firefighter. I'm going to start with this picture because this is one of the most beautiful toe crenas I've ever seen on an X-ray. It's magic. This is a project that was, as Lisa Lancaster here said, initiated by her at the last conference. She was the first one, I think in 20 years, I heard talk about this. think about it. So I had to address her on ended in this. The toe crena, for you who doesn't realize what it is, it's an indent in the sagittal plane of the coffin bone. You can see if this works now. Down there, that's the toe crena. Of course, this brought on some questions. How common is it? Does size matter? Can you see it on the hoof wall or in the white line? What kind of problems can this create? And if there is a problem, how do we treat them? The last 2 points there are questions to be done more research on. Histology, I know Lisa is working on that. And why we have the crena at all. These are the scientific numbers. I've just started doing research, so I'm Farrier basically. So this is going to be quite simple. We had a look at 103 horses. We had pictures of all 4 hooves on 1 horse, both front and 7, both hind and 1 horse, right front 35, and so on. You see the numbers there. So what did we find? And this was kind of interesting. I was suspecting it was a common feature on the coffin bone, and we found that 80% of these 103 horses had it in the front feet, and 70 also have it in their hind feet. The toe crena in the front feet were often larger than in the hind feet. I know we discussed normal here before, normal hooves and all that. I don't know if you can call this normal size, but a lot of these crenas that did not create a problem, they were up till 10 by 10 millimeters. And often you can't see the bone crena from the outside. That is in the lamellar layer or the hoof wall. And turn that coin around. If you find a crack in the sagittal plane of the dorsal wall, you will know for sure there is bone crena in there. Sometimes it's just very subtle signs that you have a crena like this. This is not even a crack. This is just a different color in the wall. All of you probably recognize this. There are a lot of different names on that spot there. CD toe, the Swedish, den italienska fogmasken. Not going to translate that because it could be offended. Got something to do with the worm. Or that particular crack in the sagittal plane there. Whoops. Sometimes you find things close to the wall underneath. I don't know if any of you have seen this before. I've looked up tens of thousands of hooves during my career. I've only seen this twice. The first one we found at the Radiographic. I wasn't working at one at the time, and we dug it out. And it was deep, and we found absolutely nothing. It was just like a hole This is what happens if you leave the toe too long on a hoof wall starting to create a crack. Sounds more of a cow than a horse. Now here we have a large, what I call a larger crena. This is more than 10 by 10 millimeters. That's a little less than half an inch by half an inch. And you see there is a gray area there and a sharp light area around there. That tells you you got a problem, and it tells you that you probably have a keratoma in there as well. This is the exterior of the hoof that we saw on the x-ray picture before. We did surgery to remove a keratoma there. This is, I think it was 3 months after surgery, and it's healing well. We used the method Dr. Polly described in a journal, dorsal wall resection. We'll peel that thing off. This is very typical. You've often seen these, I guess. They're superficial. They rasp out if you dress, you shorten the toe vertically. Owners are very often afraid that this might be a problem. If you keep the toe length under control, it won't be a problem, promise you. But you gotta cut the toe. Remember the cow picture? Good. Underneath, even pretty small signs of the distortion of the white line here. You can see it there. This indicates that you will find a bone crena on this one. And note the size of the problem here. Doesn't look much, does it? And here's the front picture of this one. It doesn't look much either. Small crack distally. You have maybe a problem up here, or it could be nothing. But the thing with this is that you have to investigate this because the next picture shows this. Extensive damage up the wall. This is close to the finished cleaning here. In my opinion, you have to clean them out thoroughly. Otherwise, they will continue to give you a problem. This won't fix the crack, but it will stop the infection. We didn't do x-rays on this one, but this is probably intense and deep. One of the largest distortions I've seen. It's not only a distortion here in the white line, you see it's broadened here. There's something new going on in the sole as well. If you have a keratoma, and the keratoma is, well, let's turn this around. If you have a problem with pain, an infection in the toe wall, and you have a toe crena on the x-rays, you should always suspect the keratoma as well. Note the pus here. This is up coronary band. That was quite a lot of pus there. See that on the next picture. This is not exactly mid-wall, but the principle is the grip the keratoma here. But if treated properly, they can heal well. You see the traces of the damage here. But this is a horse that's been done surgery a year back. It's not lame anymore. It had a little bit of sinking of coffin bone, but that was due to owner problems, you might say. They should do what the vets and farriers tell them, damn it. Here we have an x-ray, a lateral medial projection. You can start to suspect problems here. There's some debris here. The distal wall is bent out. There are some kind of crack or irregularities on the coffin bone, tip of the coffin bone there. And very well. Here's the DP projection. Nice toe crena. This is not the same x-ray as the previous one earlier in the speech. But you can suspect keratoma in here as well. You got a light gray area here. There's starting to be a wider areas around this indent here. And this gray area here. And we did find keratoma in here as well. So, I always see lecturers stop or end the lecture with the take-home message, so here they are. If you have any external signs on the wall, to avoid problems, keep the toe short. Clean out any seedy toes to keep that infection under control. You have to decide how high up you should go, but you can never fix that. You can keep it under control. And if you have pain or infection in the mid-toe region, and you have an x-ray that shows a bone crena, you must suspect a keratoma. I would had even, I was tempted to write, you will have a keratoma in there. And last, histology, why it exists. That is something hopefully Lisa and I will look further into.